everyone, and welcome back to your mat. I'm so happy to be here with you. So today we're going into a total body vinyasa. So if you haven't grabbed your props already, go ahead and grab them. I'm just using a strap today, so if you want any blocks or any blankets or anything to get cozy and really support your practice, go ahead and grab them now and meet me back here. We're all going to go ahead and get started in child's pose today. So child's pose can be whatever you would like. You can take your big toes to touch, knees come out wide, or more of an embryo shape. It's really up to you. And then if you want to take this into an active child's pose, actively press your palms into the earth, sink the hips back towards the heels, and connect with that surface beneath you. Once you've made your way down into your child's pose, let's go ahead and begin welcoming ourselves to our mat today. So just begin to notice that support beneath you. Maybe begin to draw the energy up from the earth as you take a full deep breath in, fill up the backside body. And then exhale, press your palms into the earth, sink your hips back. And repeat that process a few more times, deepening your breath a little bit more each time. And then begin to maybe match those inhales and exhales if you haven't already. So really taking a full deep inhale through the nose, maybe pausing at the top, and then exhale, completely release, matching that inhale speed. If you need to, go ahead, maybe count to 3 on the inhale, pause at the top for 2 seconds, and then exhale again for another 3, or maybe even make it longer, counting it out to 6, really compressing all the stale air out from yesterday. Once you've taken a few rounds of breath, go ahead and notice if you carried any of that tension with you, and then begin to manually release that tension, maybe in your shoulders, in your legs, in your hips. And if you are in an active child's pose, go ahead, rest those arms just for a moment. Maybe rock your head back and forth on your mat, loosen up the neck, and then begin to find some stillness here. If you'd like to set an intention for this practice, you can go ahead and set it now. And once that intention was set, let's go ahead and reactivate our child's pose here. And we're going to gently make our way into a thread the needle. So we can take our right hand, maybe press through your left palm, lift your chest, and then glide that right hand underneath your left arm, palm face up. So your right shoulder and your right ear will be making its way down to the mat. And if you prefer, you can keep your hips up in this pose. Just make sure that your knees are right underneath your hips. If you haven't already, you can re-extend that top arm out in front of you, or if you'd like, you can take it around to your backside body for a half bind. And begin to re-deepen that breath. Just a few more rounds of breath here. And then let's gently release our top left arm. You can place it right in front of your face and press yourself up. Inhale, reach the right arm towards the sky, open the chest to the right. And then gently plant that right hand back down. And then when you're ready, gently glide the left hand underneath the right arm. Left palm is palm face up. And then the left ear and the left shoulder will begin to make their way down to the mat. Again, if you'd like to extend your right arm, you can, or if you'd like to take it into that half bind, go ahead and take it now. Re-deepen the breath once you've come to stillness in your pose. Just a few more rounds of breath here. And then gently begin to release that bind if you have it, or draw the top arm right in front of your face. Inhale, lift up, left arm sweeps towards the sky, opening our chest up to the left this time. And then gently plant that hand right back onto the earth. And let's come into a tabletop position here. And you can take this into a cat-cow right off the bat if you'd like. Again, matching those inhales and exhales, still being mindful. And then begin to match that movement. So inhaling for maybe 3 to 4 seconds in cow. And then exhaling maybe 3 to 4 seconds in cat. As always, you can add any additional or organic movement here. So if you need to shift from side to side, wag the tail, press back, roll forward, whatever you would like, go ahead and take that movement now. Just a few more rounds. So if you want to come back to a cat-cow type movement, go ahead and take it, or take that chance for any organic movement that your body's craving today. And then we'll all meet back through center, taking a neutral spine. Again, checking to make sure that our hands are right underneath our shoulders, knees are right underneath our hips. We're going to take this into a little bit of a crossover C shape. So let's straighten out our right leg behind us and lift the heel. The toes are flexed back, and then let's take that right foot and bring it across to the left side of our mat. So your toes might be off the mat here. And then we're going to shift our hips to the right and gaze back at that right heel. So we have this C shape in our spine, and we can begin to breathe into our right side body. And only go to where you feel comfortable today. This doesn't need to be a huge, deep movement here. So if it's just a small C shape, that's fine. Just cater to your body and honor your body. This is your practice, and you can decorate it however you wish. Let's release that right foot, bring it right back in line, tucking that right knee right underneath our hip. And then let's extend the left leg, tuck the toes, and then lift the heel, cross the left leg over to the right. And then creating that C shape, sending our hips over to the left side, gazing back at the left foot. Pressing firmly through both hands. We don't want to sink through our chest. And then gently make your way back through center. Tucking the right knee right underneath our right hip in that tabletop position. Go ahead, take any movement in your tabletop. If you want to take one more cat-cow, you can. And then we're all going to gently make our way into our first downward facing dog of the day. So let's walk our hands one palm's length from where they're at right now. Tuck the toes and then press your hips up towards the sky and back. Again, downward facing dog is a way to lengthen our spine, so you don't have to have those heels pressed onto the earth. You can always lift the heels even if it's just slightly. Take a slight bend in the knees. That way your hips can send a little bit higher and work a little bit farther towards the back wall behind you. You can begin walking your dog or shifting your heels from side to side, maybe even wagging your tail. You can pivot on those balls of your feet, shifting the hips. Whatever's going to feel good today. Make this downward facing dog your own. And then let's all come back through stillness here. Really press your palms into the earth. Fingertips are spread wide. Let's go ahead, exhale wherever we are. Pull the belly button in towards the spine. Take a full deep inhale through your nose. Fill up the belly. Watch it expand as you gaze back. And then open your mouth. Exhale, H-A-ha. Maybe even making a sigh. You can shake your head yes, shake your head no. Loosen it up. And then again, coming back through stillness. We're going to come into our first vinyasa, or our sun salutations. We're going to take 2 sun sals today, and we're going to move at 1 breath per movement. So if it seems a little overwhelming at first, that's fine. You don't have to follow my cues. Just listen to your breath and take it at your own pace. And you can always skip the vinyasas in my class. That's totally cool. All right, so from our downward facing dog, let's go ahead and inhale, come high up onto our toes. Exhale, bend the knees, step walker, hop to the top of your mat. Let's inhale, halfway lift, flat back, handstand comes to shins. And then exhale, forward fold, hinging from the hips. And then on our next inhale, we'll roll all the way up to standing into Tadasana. Arms can reach up over our head. Exhale, hands come to our low back. You can inhale, lift through your chest. Exhale, press your hips forward, come back, go back. And then gently inhale, come back through center. Exhale, forward fold, hinge from your hips, lead with your heart. Again, reset the spine. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Let's plant our hands, step back, high or low plank. I'm going for a low one today. So let's take our knees to the earth, and on an exhale, lower all the way down to our bellies. Heels of the hands slide back. Let's inhale, lift up, low cobra, head, neck, and chest lift up off the mat. Gaze straight down at the floor, lengthen through the necks. Exhale, gently release. Inhale, let's press ourselves through a tabletop, and then exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Beautiful job, you guys. Go ahead, take any movement that you need, walk out the dog, or find stillness. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and make our way into our second sun sal today. So exhale wherever you are. Go ahead, take a full deep inhale, come high up onto your toes. Exhale, bend the knees, step walk or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll all the way up to standing. Arms reach up over your head, standing tall, Tadasana. And an exhale will take you into that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, hands to shins. And then exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step back, high plank. You can take this into a low plank if you'd like. I'm going to stay up here. I'm going to lower halfway down, chaturanga. And then inhale, sweep my heart forward. Come onto the tops of my feet into my upward facing dog here. If you're in an upward facing dog, pause here with me. Breathe, don't hold your breath. And let's really press the tops of the feet into the earth. Activate the legs, press through the palms. And we really want those legs up off the earth, so we're protecting our low back here, and we don't want any pinching in the spine. One more round of breath. You can do it. Press your palms and lift yourself up. And then exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Beautiful job, you guys. Go ahead, take any more little movement that you need. Let's go ahead and walk our feet to meet our hands at the top of our mat, so we're in a forward fold. This can be any forward fold that you would like. It could be a rag doll. You can slip your hands underneath your feet for a gorilla pose, or simply just let your hands hang down low. And just as a reminder, a forward fold is also like a downward facing dog. So we're not trying to get our legs stick straight or press our heels super hard into the earth. We really want to lengthen through our spine. So if this means you need to take a deep bend in your knees today, that's totally fine. Allow the spine to lengthen. Allow the head to relax. So release that tension in the neck and gaze straight back behind you. If you want a deeper stretch down your hamstrings, imagine that your heels are the gas and your toes are the brake. Begin to shift your weight forward into the balls of your feet. Just a few more rounds of breath in this forward fold. So take any movement that you'd like in your forward fold, or find stillness. All right, gently release whatever grip that you have, and we're gonna slowly roll all the way up to standing in Tadasana. So let's take our feet to hip width distance once we get there. Take your time. And so hip width distance is the hip width on the inner line of our legs, so that's about 2 fists length if you need a visual. Let's go ahead and inhale our arms up over our head, so palms are reaching up towards the sky. And let's come high up onto our tippy toes. Pausing here, finding stillness, breathing, don't hold your breath. And then I want you to take one deep inhale, reach up tall, coming as high as you can on those tippy toes. And on the exhale, our hands and heels are gonna lower down at the same time. So gently, with control, lowering all the way down on that exhale. Then once you've come to your mat, repeat that process once again. So let's inhale, palms face up as we reach up, go up onto those tippy toes, fingertips reaching towards the ceiling. And then exhale, gently, heels and hands come down at the same pace, and we'll touch down at the same time. 2 more just like that. Inhaling, arms reach up, heels come up towards the sky. And then exhale, hands and heels come down. Last round, inhaling, arms and heels reach up, go up, come up. Biggest stretch you've taken yet today, maybe biggest inhale. And then exhale, slow with control, strong ankles, strong legs, strong arms. And gently come all the way down to Tadasana. You can shake out your legs, shake out your hands. Go ahead, take any movement, maybe shift from side to side, wiggle your arms. And then we'll come right back to Tadasana at the top of our mat. Again, feet are in that hip width distance. Let's inhale, arms reach up over our head, heels stay on the earth this time, and then exhale, sink back into everybody's favorite pose, chair pose. Reach the hands up towards the sky, or if that hurts your shoulders, go ahead, bring those hands to heart center. Inhale, lift through your chest, exhale, sink through your hips. Let's tuck the tailbone under, weight is in our heels, and you can wiggle those toes. Maybe inhale, lift and lengthen the spine, and then exhale, find your way a little bit deeper into this pose. Breathe and relax. Draw the chin down slightly so you can lengthen through the back of your neck. When you're ready, inhale, lift and lengthen the spine one more time. And then exhale, sink a little bit lower if you can. Breathe, tuck the tailbone under. Sink a little bit deeper. And then gently release. On an exhale, fold forward, forward fold. Go ahead, rock from side to side. Loosen up the neck, loosen up the back. And then gently plant those hands, and you can walk back out into your downward facing dog here. From our downward facing dog, we're going to inhale, lift that right leg towards the sky, bend the knee, open up the hip. Go ahead, take some knee circles here. Making sure that our shoulders are in one line. We're not dumping all of our weight into the left or right side. And then switch directions if you haven't already. And then you can stay here in your three-legged dog or gently take it into a flip dog if you're feeling it today. So right toes to the left side of our mat. Right arm is reaching right in front of you. Really lift through your hips and lift through your chest. So pressing those feet firmly into the floor. Really supporting you and holding you up. When you're ready, gently flip right back over, three-legged dog. Beautiful. Hold it here, reset. Take another deep inhale here, and then exhale, step that right foot forward. So we're coming into a low lunge. Release the back left leg down. And if you need to stagger your feet just a bit, you can. And then we're going to gently rise up. Let's bring those hands to the top of our right knee here. So let's gently find our center point, bringing those shoulders right over our hips. So we're all stacked here. Right ankle right under right knee, left knee right under left hip. So starting from the center point, let's go ahead and lift and lengthen. So press your left knee and your right foot into the earth. And then exhale, let's begin to hinge forward and really breathe into our left thigh here. So coming into that crescent shape, if you'd like, you can release the hands from the tops of your knees, bring them down side by side, so staggering your right foot, or you can stay lifted. It's really your choice. Just really begin to send your breath all the way down that left leg, feeling a nice deep stretch, and you gauge the intensity here. So if this is too intense, come right back to that center point, or stay where you are, breathing, trying to release a little bit of that tension. Let's gently draw back to that center point, release the hands from that knee, and then we are going to walk our right foot to the right side of our mat and take both hands on the inside of our leg. So both hands are side by side, and we're taking this into like kind of a lazy lizard. So I like to really walk my hands out to the left corner of my mat and allow my right knee to fall open, coming on the outer edge of my right foot. And you can come down to your forearms, or you can take a block, put it underneath your hands and stay centered, or you can reach out wide. It's your choice. Wherever you are, allow your breath to guide you. So if you feel like you are holding your breath, maybe pull back. And if you feel fine, maybe dig a little bit deeper today. Bring your wandering mind back. If you feel like you're thinking of your grocery list or something like that, let's go ahead, re-deepen the breath. Come back to the present moment. Maybe return to your intention. And when you're ready, let's gently walk our hands right back underneath our shoulders. Let's put that right foot back onto the earth if that knee was falling open, and then heel toe it to the center in between both hands. So we're going to make our way up into a warrior one here, but if you have a strap and you know you have tight shoulders, let's go ahead and grab that strap before we get up off of our mat. So when you're ready, let's just gently tuck our back left toes. Hands are still on the mat here. Lift the back left knee. And then when you're ready, inhale, lift up, reach up. So we're in a high lunge here. And then let's just spin the back heel down so our toes are facing towards 11 o'clock on our left foot. Arms are working straight up over our head, still holding that strap here. And let's really settle into this pose. So begin to draw the right hip back and roll the left hip forward. So in our warrior one, we want our hips squared off. And we're going to take this into a humble warrior. So that's why we have our strap here today. If you don't need a strap and a shoulder rinse, go ahead, by all means, interlace all 10 fingers behind your back. But if you're like me, have tight shoulders and prefer a strap, let's go ahead and drop our hands down behind our back and then grab the strap or interlace all 10 fingers. Let's take a full deep inhale, lift our shoulders to our ears. Exhale, reach the knuckles down towards the floor. Let's set ourselves up. And inhale again, lift and lengthen. Exhale, begin to hinge forward. Right shoulder is coming to our right knee. And notice if that right hip shot out towards the right side of your mat. Go ahead and bring it back in. So we really want our head bowing completely forward, not off to the left. Breathing here as your knuckles are reaching up over your head. And when you're ready to release your humble warrior, gently bring your knuckles to the low back, release the strap or your fingers, and then you can take both hands on the inside of that right foot once again. Now we're going to take this into a little monkey pose. So when you're ready, let's pivot on our feet. So all 10 toes are going to be facing towards the left edge of our mat, and we're going to hinge towards that right knee. So our right knee should be bent and our left leg should be straight out. So this like a little side lunge here. Now your right heel can be lifted. Again, it doesn't need to stay on the mat. We're still warming up, but I just want you to make sure that you're not hyperextending completely through that left leg. It might feel good sometimes, but let's try to draw our knee in just a bit, keeping a micro bend there. Option to sweep that left arm up towards the sky, taking a little side opener here. And then gently release that top arm. We're going to drop both hands back down to the earth, pivot on all 10 toes, so all 10 toes are facing forward. Go ahead, step your right foot back. Both hands are at the top of our mat, feet are at the back in our downward facing dog. We're going to go ahead and take a vinyasa here, so if you'd like to skip it, go ahead and take a child's pose or stay in your downward facing dog. When you're ready, let's go ahead, inhale, come high up onto our toes. Exhale, bend your knees, step, walk, or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll all the way up to standing Tadasana. And then exhale, hinge from the hips, lead with your heart, forward fold. Inhale, reset the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, plant the hands, step back, high or low plank. Upward facing dog or a cobra on an inhale. And then exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Beautiful work, you guys. Gently shift your hips from side to side, shake out your head. And then we're going to come into that flip dog on the left side. So let's inhale, lift that left leg up towards the sky, bend the knee, open up the hip. Even if you didn't take that flip dog on the right side, go ahead and open up those hips here. Switch directions if you haven't already. And then pause. You can stay here, come back to a downward facing dog, or take those left toes to the right side of your mat. Left fingertips are reaching out in front of you. Again, really lifting through your hips and heart. This is a big back opener here, or back bend, I should say. It's a chest opener. And then really pressing those toes into the earth. And breathe. Don't hold your breath. Gently make your way back over when you're ready. Three-legged dog, keeping that left leg lifted here. Take a full deep inhale when you're ready, and then exhale, step that left foot forward, coming into that low lunge once again. Hands can come to the tops of your knees here as you untuck your toes and release that back right knee down towards the earth. So again, coming to that center point, we want to draw our left knee over our left ankle, right hip over our right knee, and really shoulders over hips. So we're sitting up nice and tall. So knowing where our center point is, when you're ready, inhale, lift through your chest, and then exhale, gently shift forward, breathing down your right thigh this time, feeling a nice deep stretch down that leg. And then again, being mindful of that movement. So if it's too intense, you can always work your way back to that center point. Take a few rounds of breath here. And then we'll gently make our way back to that center point. Let's go ahead, release our hands from the top of our knee, and then heel toe that left foot towards the left outer edge of our mat. Both hands are coming on the inside of our left foot here, coming back into that lazy lizard pose. So again, if you'd like to take my variation of it, so I like to reach my hands now over to the right corner of my mat and allow my left knee to fall open, left outer edge of my foot to open up. So really just coming into this lazy pose of feeling that my left hip open. You can always use a block in this pose. You do not have to reach to an opposite corner. Really listen to your body if this isn't feeling great today. And then gently making your way back to a low lunge here. So replanting your left foot, heel toeing it back through center, and then both hands are on either side of your left foot. So when you're ready, we're going to take this into our high lunge to warrior one. So tuck the back right toes, lift the back right knee up off the earth. Go ahead, lift up, and then spin your back right heel down towards the earth. So your right toes will be facing towards 2 o'clock now in our warrior one. So setting ourselves up for success, working our way into humble warrior. Go ahead, grab that strap if you don't have it. And let's draw our left hip back, roll the right hip forward, hips are squared off. Gently drop your hands down behind your back, grab your strap or interlace all 10 fingers behind you. And when you're ready, inhale, lift the shoulders to your ears, and then exhale, reach the knuckles down towards the floor. Another inhale will lift and lengthen you through your chest, and then exhale, begin to hinge forward, leading with that open heart. Knuckles are coming up and over your head, left shoulder to left knee. So again, noticing once you're in this pose, if your left hip shot out towards the left side of the room, go ahead, bring it back, recenter, and square off those hips. So you should be bowing directly forward, not over to the right. Breathe and release any tension. Gaze back behind you at your back leg. And when you're ready, gently release this pose. You can bring those knuckles to your low back, release your hands or from the strap or uninterlace all your fingers. And then all 10 fingers can come down towards the mat on the inside of that left foot. So we're going to pivot on our feet here once again, coming into that side lunge. So all 10 toes are going to be facing towards the right now. Left knee will be bent, right leg will be straight. And you can be on the heel of that right foot. Again, just making sure not to hyperextend here. Left heel can be raised up off the mat. And then option to sweep that right arm up towards the sky, open up that side body. And gently release. We're going to pivot on all 10 toes once again, so they'll be facing forward to the top of our mat. So working our way back into a downward facing dog, you can gently step your left foot back to meet your right. Go ahead, take any movement here, shift your hips from side to side. And if you'd like, you can come on down to the floor for a child's pose and maybe take a drink of water. If you are still up in a downward facing dog and you'd like to move into a vinyasa, you absolutely can. You can do that now. And once you've made your way back from your vinyasa, or if you're on the floor down in child's pose, take your time. We're all going to meet back in a downward facing dog. Now from our downward facing dog, let's go ahead and walk our hands back to our feet. Take a moment here in a forward fold just to release any tension that you may have built up in your neck or in your cheeks, in your brow. You can go ahead and take your hands to the back of your neck, give yourself a little massage, or maybe give your jaw a little massage here in your forward fold. And gently walk those hands back out in a downward facing dog. We're going to make our way into our second flow. So when you're ready, and then we'll go ahead, inhale, lift that right leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog, and then exhale, step it through in between our hands, coming into a high lunge, staggering your feet here. So if you need to walk that right foot towards the edge of your mat, go ahead and do that. And when you're ready, inhale, lift yourself up, bringing your shoulders right over your hips, again finding that center point, and then exhale, sink low, front thighs working parallel to the earth. Work your back foot back if you need a little bit of space here to lengthen. We really want our heel over the ball of our foot in our high lunge. So take a moment and set yourself up. Hands are still lifting high to the sky. Relax the shoulders down. Soften through your face. Reconnect with your breath. And then let's go ahead and bring our hands down onto the horizon so our fingertips are reaching forward. We're going to keep this left hand forward and take it into a twist. So inhale, lift and lengthen through the spine. Exhale, right hand drops down and back as we open our palms up towards the right side of the room. Breathing here. Again, notice if you lifted your hips a bit. Let's go ahead and sink back down, front thigh working parallel, and breathe. Relax the shoulders, maybe take a bend in your arms. Option to stay here, or you can take a reverse. So gently draw that right hand back behind you to your back leg. The left hand is reaching behind you. And then inhale, coming back to that twist. Breathe here. And then slow with control. Inhale, come back forward. Hands are going to reach up towards the sky in your high lunge. Let's go ahead and take our hands to our hips. So we're working into our peak pose today. So if you'd like, you have some options here. You can keep those hands on your hips or grab your strap or interlace all 10 fingers behind your back. When you're ready, we're going to gently shift our weight to our front right foot. And if that means you need to step your left foot in just a bit, go ahead and do that now so you have more buoyancy and more room to move. And really press through your right foot, anchor down, and let's begin to gently shift all of our weight onto the right foot, beginning to hover the left back leg. So keeping those hips square that we've been working on in our warrior one, hips are squared, and we're going to be gently hinging our weight forward, coming into a warrior three. Beautiful work, you guys. If you feel wobbly or fall out, go ahead and just come right back up. Yoga isn't about perfection, so take your time wherever you are. And then when you're ready to release your grip wherever you are. Hinge all the way up, standing in Tadasana. Bring that left leg right back down by your right. Go ahead, shift your weight into your left foot. Shake out the right, shake out your hands, shake out your arms, do a little wiggle. And then when you're ready, coming into a Vinyasa, let's go ahead, inhale, lift those arms up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, plant the hands, step back, higher low plank. Lower all the way down or halfway down. Inhale will take you into an upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale will take you back, downward facing dog. Beautiful work. We're going to take that right onto our left side here. So when you're ready, let's go ahead. Inhale, lift that left leg high up to the sky. Exhale, step it through. Left foot to the top of our mat, high lunge, setting ourselves up. So stagger those feet here. Walk the left foot to the left edge of your mat. Inhale, rise all the way up, high lunge. Sink the hips low, front left leg is working parallel with the earth, and we want that back right heel right over the balls of our feet. So sinking the hips, finding our center point, so those shoulders over our hips, releasing tension through our face, and relaxing the shoulders. And then taking this into the twist. Let's take our fingertips onto the horizon so they're reaching forward. Draw the shoulders back into the shoulder sockets. This time our right hand is going to be reaching forward. Inhale here, and then exhale. Drop the left hand down and back behind you, opening our arms up wide onto the horizon. Palms are facing towards the left. Beautiful work, you guys. Relax the shoulders, maybe take a soft bend through your elbows. Sink your hips low, readjust that high lunge. Don't forget the bottom half of you. And then if you'd like, stay here, or if you'd want to reverse, go ahead, drop the back hand to the leg, and your front arm is reaching forward and up. Coming back to your twist. And when you're ready, let's go ahead and bring that left hand back forward, coming out of our twist, back to our high lunge, and then take those hands to our hips. So we're setting ourselves up for our peak pose. Again, that's warrior three or toppling tree. It's your choice. You can take whichever one you'd like. So when you're ready, let's begin to shift our weight into that left foot. So hinging forward just a bit. And then if you want to step your right foot in just a tad as well, go ahead and step it in. And then again, still shifting our weight into the left front foot, really root down through all 5 toes on that foot. And then when you're ready, begin to straighten your left leg, lift the right heel and right toes up off the earth, and then your body's gonna come parallel with the floor. So reaching our head forward and our heel back behind us in our warrior three. Again, you can take this into a shoulder rinse here if you did so on the other side. And then when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and hinge ourselves all the way up to Tadasana, releasing any grip that we had with our hands. And our right foot's going to step right next to our left. Shift your weight to the right foot and gently wiggle everything out. Give it a little shake. All right, coming back to a little bit of stillness here. Let's find our way back into Tadasana, and then we're going to make our way into our last Vinyasa here. So if you'd like to skip it and go ahead and come into a downward facing dog, that's absolutely fine too. When you're ready, let's inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, step back, higher low plank. Lower all the way down or halfway down. And then an inhale will take you to a back bend of your choice. On your next exhale, press back, downward facing dog. And then from downward facing dog, let's go ahead and walk our feet up to the top of our mat by our hands. So coming back into a forward fold here. Let's walk our feet out as wide as our mat. Take your heels in and your toes out. Let's slowly inhale, roll all the way up to Tadasana. Once again, arms reach up. Take one big deep stretch here. And then exhale, hands come through heart center. Let's squat down to the earth, coming into a Malasana. Now, if you need a block under your bum, that's totally fine. If you need to roll up a blanket or roll up your mat underneath your heels, if they're lifting up off the ground, that's fine as well. Take your time, find your pose. And you've made it down into your Malasana of your choice. Let's go ahead, take our elbows in between our legs, so pressing against the inner line of our legs, hands together. Go ahead, take a full deep inhale, and then exhale, press the knees open with the hands and elbows, and lift the chest, maybe shifting your gaze up towards the ceiling if that's okay. Option to stay here in Malasana, or if you'd like, go ahead and take a crow pose. If you want to work on any arm balances or any fun little poses here, you can go ahead and take this opportunity. And crows, gently make your way back down into a Malasana. We're all going to make a beautiful transition to our bum, so just gently release those arms from the inner lines of our legs, reach them forward, and squat back. It's a little bit of a rough landing, but we're here. So we're going to make our way into a boat pose. So if you would like to take a block underneath your feet, you can for some additional support. Or you can go ahead and come up onto your toes, maybe lifting one leg and then the other. Take your hands behind your knees here, and really let's press into our sitting bones. So we're balancing on our root bones or sitting bones here. Our spine is straight and our belly is working close to our thighs. If you'd like, you can keep your hands behind your knees or gently reach your hands out from side to side next to you. We're going to take a little bit of core work here. So when you're ready, let's take a full deep inhale, coming down into banana, so lowering halfway down, lengthening the legs and the torso. And then exhale, bring it back up to boat. Inhale, coming down to banana. Exhale to boat. 2 more times. Inhale to banana. Exhale to boat. Last one. Inhale to banana. Hold, hold, hold here. Breathe. Don't hold your breath. One more big, deep, full inhale, and then exhale, bring it to boat. Grab behind your knees, stay here, or drop your feet down to the earth. If you want to go ahead and extend both legs to the sky for a full boat, you can. There's no extra points here, though, if you skip it, or take it. And then let's all gently bring those toes down to the earth. Release the hands. And let's lower all the way down to our backs, keeping those knees still bent here on the earth. Feet are flat on the mat. So let's take those feet out as wide as our hips, so that 2 fists, if you need that visual again, making sure our knees are right there as well, so we're not pressing them in or letting them splay out. We're going to work our way into this bridge pose here. So if you'd like, you can take these robot arms, or you can have your arms flat on the mat, working down towards your toes, or you can take a shoulder rinse if you would like to take another one of those. So when you're ready, wherever you are, let's begin to roll our shoulders underneath our chest. So our chest might be already puffing out just a little bit. Let's go ahead and take a full deep inhale here, and then exhale, release. When you're ready, inhale, go on and come up, pressing your hips towards the ceiling. Chest is rolling forward towards your chin, but they're not touching. Let's keep that gaze straight up towards the sky here. Again, pressing firmly through the feet. Those legs are working hard, lifting the hips. Arms are pressing firm into your mat. And when you're ready to release, gently roll down 1 vertebra at a time, working your way from the top to the bottom. And if you'd like, you can go ahead, bring those knees into your chest, rock from side to side, and then set yourself up one more bridge pose here. If you'd like to take a wheel, go ahead and take a wheel, only if you are familiar with it. Take a preparatory breath if you'd like. Take a full deep inhale. Exhale, let it go. And then inhale, wheels and bridges can come up. Go up and reach up, really pressing through your palms of your hands, wheel, and lifting those hips up towards the sky. Releasing the head. You got it. Strong arms, strong legs. Breathe. Don't hold your breath. Feel the rise and fall of your belly. And when you're ready to come down, my wheels, tuck your chin to your chest, lower down to your shoulders, and then lower all the way down, one vertebra at a time, just like in your bridge pose. Gently, all bring your knees into your chest, rock from side to side, release the tension in that back. And then replant those feet on the earth here. Arms come wide like a T, making your way into a twist. Take a full deep inhale, and then exhale, gently take your knees over to the left side of your mat, and your gaze can work towards the right or directly up towards the ceiling. And you can make this twist however you would like. So if you need your knees in close, your knees in far away. Releasing the tension in your shoulders and slowing down those thoughts, maybe reconnecting with your intention here. And on that next inhale, go ahead and bring those knees back into center. If you want to give them one hug in, you can. And then re-extend the hands and gently drop the knees over to the right side at your own pace. You can gently take your gaze over to the left or back up at the ceiling. Again, softening through the shoulders, the neck, the brow, the facial muscles. Maybe deepening your breath here. And then gently begin to make your way back through center, giving your knees a nice good squeeze in once again. We can take our legs up towards the ceiling to Viparita Karani, or legs up the wall. If you'd like, you can put a block underneath your sacrum. Sacrum is where your back flesh meets your bum flesh. You'll know if your back is hanging off the edge of the block or pinched in the block. So it's kind of a sweet spot you'll need to find and play around with. Option to stay here, or if you'd like, you can take it into a happy baby or any other movement that your body's craving today. Go ahead and take this time now to work on any poses that you would like. And then very slowly, go ahead and make your way into a Savasana of your choice. So this can be anything that you would like. You can lay on your side, your belly, your back. Arms can be up over your head. And if you know Savasana hurts your back, you can bend your knees, bringing your legs out or your feet out as wide as your mat, and then knock your knees together on the inside. Once you've found that Savasana, go ahead and gently release the feet, the toes, the ankles, the lower legs, the upper legs, your hips, and feel a gentle rise and fall of your belly as you let go of any breath work that you are working on. Allow the backside body to melt into the surface beneath you as the front side body follows. Release tension through the chest, the arms, the hands, and allow the fingertips to gently curl in. Soften through your shoulders, through the neck. Release your jaw, your cheeks, and your brow. Allow all the thoughts to just float away as you feel yourself completely melting into the surface beneath you. Option to stay in Savasana here, or if you're ready, begin to wiggle your fingers, wiggling your toes, and then slowly and gently turning onto your favorite side, cradling your head in your arm. Very slowly, begin to make your way up to a comfortable seated position of your choice, meeting me up here in a seated Sukhasana or Hero's Pose, whatever you would like. Eyes can remain shut, or you can softly gaze down at the floor. And let's go ahead and all inhale, our arms reach up overhead one last time. Exhale, hands come through heart center. Let's bow to our fingertips and return to that intention we set at the beginning of class. Now you can carry this intention with you, hold it and cherish it throughout your week. Or maybe it's time to let it go, and you can take this opportunity to set a new one for the rest of your day, your evening, tomorrow, your week, or your weekend. Thank you all so much for joining me today. It's always truly an honor, and I'm so happy again to be back with you guys. I know I keep saying that, But I'm so happy to be back, and I'm looking forward to next week. If you guys have any recommendations on any sorts of classes that you would like, or any poses that you would like to work on in a particular class, please let me know in the comments down below. I love reading them and I love getting feedback from you guys. So if you have any recommendations, go ahead and leave them in the comments down below. And as always, the light in me honors and acknowledges the light in each and every one of you. I will see you all next week on the mat. In the meantime, stay good, stay safe, and remember that you matter and your mental health matters. And I will meet you back here. Namaste.